All right, family. You live with the general, man. You already know what it is. We got nothing but fire for you. We're gonna be talking about these like over 20, 30 shots let off outside the White House again. Again. Damn, man. I mean, what is really going on out here with this White House administration, Donald Trump? I mean, again. This don't make damn sense, man. But here we go. And so before we get started, family, make sure you get over there to Patreon, man. Click that link at the top of the chat. 600 exclusive live streams that you can only view on Patreon. And so most definitely check it out, family. Yeah, this is really ridiculous at this point. I remember the guy who was supposedly a lot of people think that maybe it was staged. And I don't, and we got to quit thinking it's just some people out here that just is tired. They didn't flip the switch, and they are most definitely voicing their frustration, in all kinds of negative ways. We don't condone no violence. We cannot do that. We cannot condone violence. But we also have to we have to do the necessary things to lighten the load out here, from pushing people's over the fucking ledge. You see, and people's out here starving, people's out here, man, while the rich and the elite continue to get richer and richer, and the poor continue to get poorer and poor. And so people's is tired of this shit. They tired of waiting on the Congress to do. They ain't gonna do shit. They are part of the damn problem. And so yeah. So the guy, I remember the guy. I can't call his name up, but I remember when they put his face up. The guy actually was arrested maybe a couple years back. For being around the White House. I don't know. I don't think it was because he didn't have no. I don't think he had no pistol at that time. I don't believe. But whatever he did, he was barred from coming back around near the White House. And obviously he didn't pay attention. Okay, and so this time he had his pistol. I got to see. I want to see that his family. You know, identify the body. I got to hear that this is the guy, that they're not just putting his face up there, but you know, I got to hear from his family. But the guy come back, this, whatever, and they told him, obviously they recognized him. And they told him, you got to go. You're not supposed to be over here. You see what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be over here. And the guy whips out a pistol and start busting. And you could hear while people was broadcasting, you could hear the pistols going off, and they was letting off. Boom, 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 boom. They was letting off. You know what I'm saying? So, to my understanding, over 20, 30 rounds, or maybe even more, because when I heard it buzzing, it was automatics busting. Boom, 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 boom. And then you could see, newscasters, they was fake, the White House was behind them. So you couldn't see what was going on, but you could hear the busting going on. And so again, so a lot of people thinking that it might be staged, and could to get this ballroom, and you know what? I believe some of it could be staged. I believe that, uh the last dinner where the guy went and shot in there and did some crazy shit, shot past the security, and he was arrested. I think, did he let off some? I don't think he let nothing off. but he got or did he let something off? I don't know. Yeah, he did. He shot somebody. Yes, he did. He did. He shot one of the security guard. I mean, one of the Secret Service. Yeah, so he did. He did let something off. But this is just bad business. When you got a president and that's you attracting, this much negativity, one way or another. You see what I'm saying? One way or another, is bad business, because it's like and they need a reason to lock down even further than what they've done already. You know what I'm saying? That they need another reason to lock down even more, which is crazy. And his life is under threat and shit. And and so I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what to say about this, and so of course this probably gonna push. But what about? I mean, so what? The ballroom is one thing, but what about everything else? Is everything else bulletproof? Shit, you ain't got to be in the ballroom. What about everything else? Is it bulletproof? I mean, you're gonna have to bulletproof damn near everything you in. If you so where the where the people is feel that way about you to where you got to damn near being bulletproof everything. So is this where we going with this shit? You know what I'm saying? It's a military state. You got shootings every other damn day. You got you got mass shooters every other day. This shit is sad. You can't do nothing. You can't go no damn where. You know what I'm saying? You can't go nowhere. You got the I mean, it don't make no difference what age they is. It don't make no difference. These peoples has been radicalized, at a very young age. You got killers, man, 15, 14, 13 years old. They already cold-hearted killers, ready to take life. You can't sleep on nothing. You can't sleep on nothing. For real. You got to keep your eyes open on everything. You can't go no damn way. It could be at the post office, it could be at the fucking grocery store, it could be at the bank, it could be anywhere. And usually, soft target areas. That's why I tell y'all, you know, you have to keep your eyes open at all times. You got to watch for suspicious people all the time. You got to keep your eye on them, and keep and see if you see something that ain't right. You can't be la la land and shit all off in la la land, whistling while you work and shit. You got to have your motherfucking eyes open when you go in these places. You got to, you ain't got to, but you look and you be thinking but it's the right thing to do today. It's the right fucking thing to do, to keep your eye and pick the time in which you want to go in these places. You need to pick the times and when you go into certain places. Because they like to get there with, they like to spark when there's some people in that motherfucker for real. It's for real. You want to go where it ain't so crowded. You know, they want to get somebody. And really you don't know what time. You don't know what time. But a lot of time they like to have a show. Well, I go in there and ain't number two people in there. You want to have a shit. That's how they think. They want a show. So they'll wait till it's enough people where they'll go in there and shit. But today we got to be soldiers, man. Real talk. That's what it means. When you touch down outside your door, nigga, you on the battlefield. It's military. I'm looking. I'm looking. You know, you had to have the 360. You know, you got to look all around you at all times. You ain't got to be scary, but it's like a natural thing where it's like the flow of life and shit. You know, it's so in the flow of things, you know, it's not you ain't it ain't looking like you know, some people just so awkward and shit. They look scared and shit, but you know, you walking and you know, you look, you know, and you turn you and you know, you watching and shit, and you know, you nod here and you keep it moving, eyes, you know, watching and shit, making sure you don't see nothing ahead. You listen, ears is always open because you can hear shit, you know, before it even jump off, you know, you or right when it's about to jump off. You know, you got to be watching these cars and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers pulling up on you and shit, and this, that, and the third. You feel me? You got to be prepared at all goddamn times out here. But you know, yeah, this shooting up at the White House. This is just bad business. It's just bad business, man. People getting tired of Donald Trump, man. At this point, they've been tired, but this is becoming too overwhelmingly tiresome, you know, with all this bullshit that's going on. And at the same time, prices going up. People's is trying to, make shit work. You know, and on top of that, you got all this nonsense going on. So, you know, what's next? All we doing is sitting back. What's next? You know, what's next? You know, that's just, you know, and it's sad that you had to ask that, what the fuck is next? You know, well, you know, just stay safe out there, family. Keep your eyes open and be cautious wherever you go. Be cautious, you know, and stick together, unify, you know, as a people, you know, and once you unify, that right there is security in itself. Cause nobody gonna go amongst a unified people that where everybody is looking out for everybody and or the majority of the people are looking out for one another at least knowing so you know just like they do when somebody ain't supposed to be there they all step in like you know what's up with you, you know, we having too many shootings, you don't belong here, you don't, you know, it ain't we ain't stopping nobody but you don't belong here. Motherfucker, you don't shop around here, you know, and we ain't stopping nobody, but you don't shop around here. What the fuck is going on? What's up? You know what I'm saying? And real talk, you know, that's some shit you have to do. Is either continue to have these shootings like this, or you gonna have to unify and you gonna have to, you know, you gonna have to secure your surroundings in numbers. You feel me? Awareness in numbers. But anyway, family, make sure y'all click that link at the top of the chat and we'll get black with your family real soon. Uh hit the subscribe button, get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And I'll see y'all a little later on. Boom. Black power.